2016 y ahora tengo un invitado muy especial, porque sabemos que este festival pues en realidad se trata de los gamers que han dedicado su vida a lo que es el mundo de los videojuegos. Así que qué mejor invitado que un hombre que ha dedicado su vida no solo a crear, sino a traernos las mejores experiencias a todos los gamers. Está con nosotros Phil Spencer. Es un honor tener a Phil aquí el día de hoy. We're so happy to have you here. It's much an honor, Phil.
Thank you much. It's great to be here among all of our fans in Mexico. The passion, the excitement, the energy from all these people, it just makes everything so worth it.
What about the food?
Yeah, food's great. We're gonna go to some great Mexican food tonight. The whole scene is great. People playing Killer Instinct and cheering. It just really kind of gives you all the energy you need for the job.
They're so passionate, right?
Yeah, it's great. You know, we had the kind of smaller event last night, and there were hundreds of people here, and we streamed it, and the team was on stage, and they got to talk to the fans and meet the fans. We have thousands of people here. We have people lined up out front. It's kind of crazy, but everybody's been good spirits. They're happy, and even when the people have to wait a little longer than maybe we would like, people really seem to enjoy their time, which is fantastic.
So we have some questions for you, and this is a hard one.
Okay.
What is the best and the worst part about being the head of Xbox?
The best part is the team and the fans. I mean, that one's kind of easy because, you know, this is an industry that is driven by passion, by competition, by camaraderie and friendship. And our team embodies that. When we come to fan events and we see the fans, you feel the same thing. And that's just, I've been a gamer since I was a little kid, and I've been in Xbox for 15 years. And so this is, you know, I have the best job in the world, and it's just an honor to be able to be in this job. In terms of the worst thing, you know, there's always it's not the worst, but there's a high bar for what our customers want from us. And, you know, you try to do certain things, and you don't always meet the needs of all the customers. And it's a challenge, you know, even, like, I love that we're launching the Xbox One S here next week, November 15, but we didn't launch it the same day we did in the US. So it's a good news and a little bad news. And I get the question, why didn't it launch at the same time it did in the US? And, you know, there were reasons for that in terms of how many we had and how, but it doesn't matter. Like, the fans, they want to be number one. They want to feel all the support. And, you know, I feel that inside when I want to exceed what the customers want from us.
You mentioned that you have been playing it for a long time now,
Yeah,
right?
I'm an old dude.
So what have video games taught you about facing problems, solving problems?
Yeah, you know, the one of the things I love, I'm a big co-op player. I love playing games like Overcooked and Gears Horde Mode and Firefight, and when I get to play with my friends. And I love the kind of cooperation that is built. And, you know, when I see games and we're like trying to do 50 waves of Horde Mode in Gears 4, and everybody's got their role, that they're good at this, and you go do that, I'm gonna go do this, and we kind of divide, but we're all part of one team. And, you know, on our Xbox team, we have this term called Team Xbox, which is all the people that, whether you're here in Mexico, whether you're back in Seattle, whether you're in one of our studios in some other country, you're all part of the team, and you all have your job that you're doing. There's a bigger Xbox mission that we're all on. Everybody kind of pulls their own little part of it and try to move the overall program forward. And I think there's a lot of lessons there from what we do in games.
We know that one of your favorite games here is Inside.
Yeah, it's a beautiful game.
Also mine.
Yeah.
Now, how important are indie games to Microsoft?
Well, I look at indie games as incredibly important for the industry. I think there was a time when we were worried that all games were going to be big dollar games, high budgets, maybe all the games are going to go free to play, you know, and you would lose some of the creativity and risk taking that we see in smaller games, in indie games. And I love the fact that not just Xbox, Sony's done a great job with indie, Steam has done a great job with indie, but as an industry, we've embraced big games and smaller games from smaller studios. And sometimes those smaller studios try things that the bigger studios kind of either can't or you know, there's just more of the smaller studios, so there's more energy in. And I see in places like here in Mexico where our ID program is getting strong. We have local developers here in Mexico City that are showing their games here at this show. I think that's how great is that now you also get regional tastes in games that come because you have developers in Brazil, developers in Mexico, developers in Argentina, developers in all countries that are building games. I think it's a healthy thing for the industry.
Sure, because it's people that has a different point of view, right?
Totally, different point of view, different language, different art, different background and beliefs. And I think it is very good for the games industry that we get that diversity in the play experiences, because I think it just helps us continue to push the art form forward.
So do you have any message for young Latin America developers?
Yeah, it's listen to your fans. I get a lot of questions like, how do I get into the games industry? Young developers that are starting, what do you got to go do? Play a lot of games, learn. I like things like game review or the Greenlight program on Steam where you can try little ideas. You don't have to finish it all the way. People can invest in your game and help you kind of fund, and I'd say use those opportunities to get the feedback from the customers, because like shutting the door and trying to build your game for the first time all on your own without that direct connection can be really hard. So it's nice that we're seeing things like Game Preview and other platforms doing their own things on that, help developers kind of bootstrap their process.
Now, you worked with first parties even before you became the head of Xbox.
Yeah.
But also right now, you're backing up a lot of indie games. How do you get a balance between those two?
Yeah, my approach is to let the market decide, and a game is a game. That's what I say. And if it's a small indie game that comes out and takes over Xbox, that's fine to me. If it's a big game like a FIFA or a Call of Duty or a Battlefield or Gears of War, that's fine as well. And last year we had a small, it's not as small, but Ark Survival. Maybe it's here on the floor, but Ark was a small team near us in Seattle. 20 so people built this game, and it became one of the biggest things on Xbox Live. Minecraft is such a great example. Something created from such a small group, and the market will kind of decide based on what people want to play and where they invest.
So pretty much it's about quality, right?
It's about quality. Yeah, definitely. And it can't become just about budget, because that, I think, hurts creativity if the only things that succeed are the things that people spend the most money to build. You want people spending and doing big blockbuster games. I think that's great for the industry, but that can't be the thing that dictates whether something is successful. And we talked about Inside. Inside's probably my game of the year, or definitely in the top 3 right now. And it's not the biggest budget game. It's not it doesn't have a huge multiplayer section. But it's so pure in what it is. Like Ori and the Blind Forest was another one of those games. It was just so pure in what it was and how it felt. And games can be great at many different things. Budget is one of them.
What would be your top 3?
This year, it's definitely up at Inside in my top 3. I really like that game. If I look at Overwatch and what it's done, it's kind of hard to say that launching a new IP, I have a ton of respect for Blizzard, launching a new IP and having it hit as big as it is right now, you kind of just have to nod and say, okay, they've done a lot of great work. And this last one, people will they'll give me the boo a little bit, but I'm a big fan of ReCore. I'm playing a lot of ReCore right now. I'm not saying it's the most polished game in the world. I'm not saying it's perfect in every way, but the way it controls, the way it feels, the character, I like that game. It's doing really well. But Battlefield's been great. Gears is awesome. It's so cool to see Rod Ferguson and Coalition bringing Gears back. My heart is in that game because I was around. I helped on Gears 1, so I've been around that franchise. So I don't know if I have a good number 3, but I think it's been a really good year for gamers.
Besides gaming, what's your other passion?
I love snowboarding. I'm waiting for snow in Seattle. It's been really warm so far this late fall in Seattle. I have 2 daughters. My oldest is now in university. My youngest is going off to university, so I try to spend as much time with them. My wife, Kelly, we've been married 25 years, so I have a great relationship with my wife. We do a lot of things together. I'd say kind of snowboarding, spending time with the family, but I play a lot of games. I am as much a gamer as I am head of Xbox, and when I go home at night and I sit down in front of my Xbox and I sit down to play, I kind of forget all the head of Xbox stuff, and I just enjoy immersing myself in the games that we play.
Well, so actually we're playing right now. Is this challenge with all of our guests.
Okay.
We just need to play some Forza. You will try to make your best time, and we will put it on board Right now we have Major Nelson.
Major Nelson 101 and Greeny 109. Okay.
So do you think you can beat him?
We'll see. We'll see.
There you go.
Okay. Do I stand up or?
What? We have the wall wall. Everyone is using their wall wall. Actually, it was Danny. I wasn't to be honest. I like the one with all the. Steering wheel. Yeah, that's right. Because it feels like you're actually driving, right?
Easier, and I want to win. So I'm trying to. That's why I always try first person. Oh, I missed that. Oh no. No. I'm gonna lose. It's harder when I'm talking and playing. Okay.
Aaron will be happy.
Yeah, Aaron. I'm a better gamer than Aaron. You can tell her that. That's all Aaron cared about was beating me.
That's what he said
Yeah,
in his
of course.
interview.
You like Forza? You play it?
I do. I love it. I'm not a racing game dude. I like more like Gears or Halo.
Yeah.
But Forza Horizon, especially, is one of my favorites. The other one I don't like that much because it's like too technical.
Motorsport,
Yeah.
I'm more of a motorsport player, but Forza Horizon is so good. It's done by a studio for us in the middle of England, playground games, and they partner with our team at Turn 10, and they just do a really, really great job. This game, when you talk about games of the year, I think people win a lot of game of the year awards. Reviewed so well, selling incredibly well. I got to go to Australia for our fan event down there when this game came out, and they were so happy that we built the game. But it was really cool to see the Australians and the passion they had for gaming, and having built it. We should build a game in all countries because people love that.
Well, in Mexico it will be kind of slow because we have so many cars.
Your traffic here in Mexico City is crazy.
It is. So it will be a kind of a boring game.
No.
Just stuck in periférico.
Dodge the traffic.
Dodge the traffic. Yeah. It will have to be something like Burnout or.
That's what I feel like I'm playing now. It's Burnout. I'm ready to go. Okay, you guys are doing better now.
Actually, I think there was an
Oh, okay. Very good. Tell him I won then. Tell him I beat him.
Okay, so now we will do this little game, this word game.
Word game.
Yeah, I will tell you some words, some random words.
Okay.
And you just have to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Encarta.
Encarta.
Encarta. Yeah.
That was one of the early product. Oh, I got to give one word.
No, whatever comes to your mind.
Oh, okay. One of the first products I worked on at Microsoft, I learned a ton about what it meant to work on a team. I was a programmer. Work with a team of people to create something new. It's a special time. In fact, short story, the gentleman that runs Turn 10 Studios, Alan Hartman, worked with me on Encarta. That was 28 years ago.
Whoa.
So we've been working together for that long. He's one of my best friends, and to still be working together is fantastic.
Cortana.
Cortana, I think Halo, right? I think for me, Cortana and Halo are synonymous with Xbox. I think about the beginning of Xbox, the bet that Ed Freeze made on buying Bungie and the Halo IP, bringing it to our console, and I think the reason we are all here, we owe so much to Halo as a kind of a launch vehicle for Xbox, the original Xbox, and Cortana is a great character that's been there through the whole series.
VR.
PR?
VR. As in virtual reality.
Oh, interesting. Early. I think we're very early in what we're learning as creators about VR. I feel like maybe the technology is ahead of our creative capability. We're doing some things with Minecraft ourselves and a couple other things that we haven't announced yet. And I see what's going on, but I know the biggest creators will only get better with the art form of VR.
Tacos.
We're gonna go have tacos tonight. I learned today, or last night I learned, tacos have to be corn tortillas.
Yep.
Cannot be flour. If it's a flour tortilla, it is a burrito.
That's right.
And a burrito is not Mexican.
It is, but in the north of the country, like in Chihuahua.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to having some good, authentic Mexican tacos tonight.
Yeah. Atari.
The beginning of it all, right? I mean, my Atari 2600 was critical in me becoming a gamer and the person and professional I am today. You know, I thought there was such a bet to bring real video game arcade experiences into the home. Very special, very special.
Kinect.
Kinect. I'm a little, I love the excitement that we saw around Kinect. I mean, I don't know if you saw it earlier. We had kids on stage and they were playing Just Dance.
Yeah.
And, it's such a great communal experience, and I love that. And the technology was very cool. I think from a pure console game experience, we kind of ran through a lot of what Kinect was about, and now the technology is in HoloLens. You see voice in so many places. I love the technology, and I think it has years ahead of it.
Switch.
I think Nintendo is incredibly important for our industry, and I have a lot of friends over there. We obviously ship Minecraft on Nintendo platforms. They sent me their new NES thing. I haven't had a chance to open it and play, but anytime Nintendo aligns their platform and their first party to deliver something new, great things happen. And I remember at the end of GameCube when there was some kind of talk that maybe Nintendo had lost it, and then they did the Wii and they destroyed all of us, right? They just owned the world. And so I think they're great for the industry in terms of the audiences that they bring in, and they challenge themselves to think about new, which is fantastic.
Fans.
It's all about, right? There's nothing without the fans and the customers. And these Fan Fest event, I feel I go and the people thank me for being here, and I feel so I'm thanking them. Like they give me my job, right? They pay my salary. They keep our team motivated. They invest their time. They don't have a lot of time. They had other things that are pulling on them to come here and talk to us and to be part of what we're trying to do. Mexican fans have been fantastic, and fans in general, what it's all about.
Lucha libre.
Aaron Greenberg. That's what I think of. That's an inside joke between Aaron and I, but a very funny movie.
Scorpio.
Scorpio. It's fun to build new. It is, and we're a little bit ahead of schedule right now on Scorpio. We're starting to see some of our first-party teams get their engines up and on the architecture, and seeing some really positive results. It'll be a fun next year. Absolutely.
Tequila.
Tequila. I'm not a huge drinker, but I respect that it is one of the outputs of Mexico, that it's important for the country. The team here gave me a bottle of tequila. I have to admit I'm not a huge drinker, but who knows? Maybe with the team tonight we'll sample a little bit.
It was such a pleasure to have you here, Phil.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Pues seguimos aquí en el Xbox Fan Fest, así que no se pierdan las entrevistas. Recuerden que nos pueden seguir en nuestras redes sociales, todas como Xbox México, y la transmisión a través de Twitch o Facebook Live. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good job. Sorry.
Estamos en el FanFest y ahora, bueno, pues sabemos que es una celebración para todos los gamers que amamos Xbox. Ahora tengo unos invitados muy especiales, quizá los conozcan por su juego Halo. De 343 Industries me acompañan Frank O'Connor y Dan Ayub. Welcome guys, how are you doing?
Good,
How
thank
are
you.
You already eaten some tacos?
No, we're having our first Mexican meal is going to be tonight, so
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah, we're definitely going to eat all we can while we're in here.
I've been eating like a pig the whole time, but our first proper Mexican dinner is tonight.
So let's start with the questions. In your opinion, what makes Halo such a huge franchise?
It's different for every type of player, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's so successful is because it has something for different types of player. You have the kind of esports component in multiplayer, big story mode, a big universe, physics, exploring. It's just got a lot of content.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, for me, when I look at it, I think it's that there's a lot of very powerful emotions contained in Halo, right? A lot of messages of hope, belief in humanity, belief in, ourselves. And I think that just resonates with a lot of people. And despite the types of games we do, that core is always present. And I think that just speaks to people.
Now Halo is such a huge franchise, fans are so passionate about, right? What's the secret to make a game that appeals to both new gamers as old fans?
I mean, that's the hardest balance to strike, and in full disclosure, sometimes we don't get it right. We have to evolve the game just because we have to continue to make it better and more interesting. But we also have to respect what's at the core of it. And I think, we've had some hits and misses. I think Halo 5's multiplayer is a great example of kind of getting it just right, where it feels like Halo, but there's a lot of new content, a lot of new mechanics, and a lot of new movement that makes you feel like a Spartan and lets you live out that fantasy. But it's a hard balance, is evolving the game while still maintaining what makes it special in the first place.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we had the same challenge with Halo Wars too, right? So you're developing an RTS, and there's kind of two sides to it. You've got your RTS fans who know exactly what they want and exactly what an RTS should do, and then you've got people that find it maybe a little intimidating because there's a lot going on. So I mean, the approach we took with that was we absolutely have developed a hardcore RTS with campaign and multiplayer, but we also have very casual modes like Blitz that's on the floor here today that removes base building and resource management, and it's just a very fast, quick, fun way to play. So you try to have multiple doors into the game that anyone can come through.
Now for the people that want to work in the industry, why don't you guys describe us on a regular day at 343 Industries?
Well, my limousine picks me up in the morning and takes me to
right.
brunch. Now, I mean, it's different for every person in the studio. It's such a big collaborative process that, we have people whose job is to do work on motion capture, and they're maybe in a studio working with actors doing stunts. We have producers who are just organizing the logistics for how to build a game. We have artists who are building concept art for the next game, musicians composing. Everyone's day is different. I'm spread across a lot of different things. So one of the luxuries I do have, which is not a limo, by the way, is getting to see a lot of different aspects of how our business works.
Yeah, I mean, I think Frank hit it. Everyone's day is a little different. We're working with, for Halo Wars 2, our partners in the UK with Creative Assembly. My morning usually starts before I get to work, right? So it's conference calls and things like that, kind of taking advantage of difference. Ironically, and this is the truth, my day at work starts with hugging Frank every morning. And that's really just how I like to kick off the day.
Is that something that you enjoy, or?
No, it's not. That's why he does it. I'm not a hugger.
Would you say that that's the worst part of your job?
Definitely, yeah.
There's this theory on the internet that Master Chief's armor has a major flaw that makes him more vulnerable to melee attacks. How true is this?
Are you talking about in multiplayer right now, or are you talking about just generally story-wise?
Yeah.
No, I mean, some fan theories are true, surprisingly true. I don't think that's one of them, but I'd have to read about it to make sure. But no, the Chief has regular Spartan armor, lots of battle scars and lots of damage on it, but it's fully functional.
And well, we have this challenge. All of our guests have been playing Forza Horizon. So, who wants to be first?
I'll go first, because then if Dan does better, they'll have forgotten about how bad I was.
Cool. There you go. It's a war dog, actually.
Yeah, of course.
Good to go.
vemos que va bastante bien. Se ve que conoce el vehículo, ¿no? Como una de las personas que trabaja con el Warthog en el día a día. Pues la verdad es que lo maneja bastante bien. Aquí perdió un poco. Parece ser que más bien pues, trató de ir un poco hacia la aventura, ¿no? Que no fuera tan aburrido.
This is ironically why I don't commute to Frank with work to work in the morning.
I think you can beat it first.
I'm feeling pretty good with what I'm seeing so far. But yeah, the angle might make it a little tricky, and that's me getting my story ready, just in case. Oh!
I don't think a rock can actually stop the Warthog.
No, I feel like the Warthog should have right
Well,
over
we
there.
had to be competitive, so otherwise it would have been overpowered.
He went off. Yeah, it was giving you the.
Prefer to battle on the Warthog, not race, right?
Frank's usually
No,
the gunner.
normally pretty good. I just cannot play it at this angle. Certainly not
Almost
that
there.
skill.
A minute.
48.
That's crazy.
He's way too long. The deep ground.
That's the rock! It's the same rock!
God damn it!
Sort of like on round mode, so you'll just keep doing a lot of. So you can stop as soon as you want.
Yeah, there we go. There may not be time for me at this point. You were, yeah, that was,
Of course.
yeah, that was not your fault.
¿En qué quedó el tiempo?
I think we're moving on.
Gavita, ¿en qué quedó el tiempo para apuntarlo?
Yeah, you were
¿Quieres que
laughing.
te lo pase y lo pones tú ahorita? Pero ¿cómo lo hacemos para que entre Dan sin quitar su score?
I feel like they're moving on.
following the race line most of the time.
¿Te lo paso?
I was saying you're off.
Yeah, that, so the one time it was giving you a countdown, it was definitely.
I apologize to Dan Greenwald with the team.
Oh, are we doing this?
You got it, yeah. Let's see who's.
Doing good.
Alan Harmon, are you on the line? I'd just like to say that Dan actually had the advantage of learning the course by watching me fail at it.
Now his
Now
nemesis
you're
is a tree
experiencing my pain, right?
instead of a rock.
Yeah. I know I'm not supposed to color outside the lines. Yeah, the little palm trees are great. They're really satisfying to go through. The big woody ones, you gotta watch that. I just hope you hit that rock at least once. Evil rock. Picnic at evil. Yeah, see? See? I know, right?
All right, I'm done. Alan, what
Yeah.
do you talk?
Now we have this word game I'll say
All
just
right.
some random words, and you have to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
All right.
We'll start with you.
All right.
Okay. So the first one will be Scotland.
Forever.
Bungie.
Jump.
2017.
2016.
Fans.
Awesome.
Pong.
Combat.
John.
117.
Writing. Writing.
Stories.
Cats.
Dogs.
Mexico City.
Food.
Okay. And now we'll go with you, Dan.
Do I get the same words?
No. California.
Cation.
Cortana.
Blue.
Esports.
Awesome.
Fans.
Awesomer.
French.
Mais oui.
E3.
Home.
Guacamole.
Yummy.
The Covenant.
My enemy. That's 2 words, but I'm going with that anyway.
Okay, and finally, before I let you go, if there's a case of a zombie apocalypse, which Halo weapon would you choose and why?
Hi. Flamethrower.
Gravity hammer.
Why?
Well, flamethrower because I can stand back and just let the fireworks happen, and
What if you run out of gas?
well, I could run out of anything. You can run out of gravity hammer juice.
Maybe the energy sword.
There you go.
That runs out faster than anything, though. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us, guys. It was a pleasure. Y amigos, seguimos aquí en el Xbox Fest. Tenemos más entrevistas, así que no se despeguen de la transmisión.
And we're gonna talk to Alan about his blue line.
Yeah.